guys, so we're getting to the end of MC Command Center. So I'm going to do MC Population and MC Tuner for you guys today, and then I will go on to do individual videos of MC Pregnancy and MC Woohoo. I want to do those two apart and by themselves to get a little bit more in depth. So we'll start off with MC Population. So we've got moving settings. So you can allow homeless to move in. It is enabled, that is the default setting. So basically allows Sims in homeless households to populate empty houses on lots in the different neighbourhoods. Only houses with at least one bed in the lot info will be valid for move-in. So I know I like to build a lot of houses. My worlds are completely full, which actually annoys me so much that I can't expand. So that means I have to just save builds in my gallery and then delete them and reuse the lots, which is quite frustrating. But anyway, I went through a period where I was just creating heaps of houses, but not actually moving my own Sims in. So what MC Command Center does is it will eventually move in random Sims into the empty blocks, which I think is a really cool touch. So at one point I had the Grim Reaper in one of my houses and I was like, okay, that's a little bit weird, but yeah, so that's really cool. I like it. If you don't, then obviously disable it if you want to have absolute control of where people are moving in and whatnot. So we've got move out elders. So basically when a Sim ages up to an elder, you can move them out of their household if they live in a house and move them into a retirement household. So the default setting is none. You can move all elders or you can move non-ancestral elders. Totally up to you. Move single Sims. So when doing random move-ins to home lots, use eligible single Sims from existing home lots before moving in homeless Sims. Disabled is the current default value, so enable it if you want it to be enabled. Bypass played households. So basically this is when checking for Sims moving out of homes, bypass any played households rather than just the current active household. The default setting is enabled. If you want to disable it. It's relatively simple. So we'll have a look at the populating settings now. So we'll have a look at open houses. The number of residential lots to not move Sims into automatically within the world. The default value is 1, and obviously the maximum value being 100. So yeah, percent baby. So the percent chance that a game generated Sim will be a baby rather than a teen. That's very interesting. So if you want more babies in your game, then obviously up the value to 100% or like 90, 80%. Then obviously you've got the percentages toddler, mine's 25%. I think that maybe they might all be, oh no, adult is 33%. So basically, yeah, percentage child, adult, older, percent male. I'm actually kind of surprised if they don't have percent female. That's interesting. But, okay, well, obviously they've just done male and done 50, so 50-50 female, male. So if you want more females, then obviously reduce the male percentage to like 40, 30, or 0 and have a whole Sims world full of females. That would be crazy. So yeah. Then you've got run dresser. So basically just run the dresser clean on the Sims after they're generated by the game for any reason. Maximum homeless. So the approximate number of homeless Sims the game will generate This number does not include mandatory sims needed by the game. So minimum value is -1, maximum is 100. So if you want more homeless, then obviously change the settings. Yeah, that would be good for city living. I feel like that would be a little bit more realistic. Enable or disable bar nights. So allow sims to get invited to go to bars for the selected types of bar nights. So I don't have this. So I'm assuming this must be with the Get Together expansion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is where you go if you want to do this. All of my values are selected, but I can't actually see what the values are. So yeah. And then we have other settings for MC population. So bypass sim culling. If enabled, sims will never be culled when population reaches high numbers. I've obviously got mine disabled, so it'll get rid of a lot of the population, which again, I think that's realistic in my opinion. You have bypass clown walk by. That is awful. I actually kind of want to enable that. I am terrified of clowns, petrified. I don't know whose idea it was thinking that creating clowns would be a good idea. I really don't like clowns. No Reaper stalking. So enabling this setting will prevent the Grim Reaper from casually showing up in public places. I kind of like that he shows up in random public places. I don't know, that's just a Sims thing to me. So I'm definitely going to leave that. Randomize visiting Sims. Shuffles the list EA generates of valid sims to visit a lot, so they do not visit in the same order every time. I know a few people were having issues with that, so if you want to enable that, it'll obviously shuffle it around a bit more, so you get a bit more variety, which I think is a cool idea. Disable immortal sims. So turn on aging for sims that are normally immortal in The Sims 4. I don't think I have any immortal sims. Oh no, Gamescom 1, Interest Love Guru, City Repairer Weirdo, and Buster Statue. They would all be disabled, but yeah, so if you want to enable them, enable them. Yeah, so where were we? Maximum sims in zone. So specifies the maximum number of sims that will be spawned in a zone. Default EA is 20. That would be crazy going to one of the venues and having 200. That would be insane, but that would be really cool. So obviously if you want more, then bump up that number. And adjust sims on lot. So base game, they're all selected. So change settings for this lot to allow sims to spawn based on the maximum settings on lot settings. So if you obviously unclick these, that means that it's not going to allow sims to spawn. So obviously they're all selected because I think that's a good idea. If you're not into it, totally up to you. And then obviously if you've got Get Together, Dine Out, Spa Day, City Living, you can change all those too. I only have City Living, so that's sad. But yeah, so you can change that. Yep, so that's MC population done. So now we'll go down to MC tuner. So here you can change interaction behavior, change interaction autonomy, or do an autonomy scan. So if you're going to change interaction behavior, so you've got friendly stay the night. Invite to stay the night is a friendly interaction, not a romantic interaction. So if you have that disabled, then obviously it's going to be a romantic interaction. If you have it enabled, then that means that instead of it being romantic, it'll be friendly. So If you want it to be more of a friendly interaction, then obviously you can change that. Friendly, ask if single. So again, it changes it from romantic interaction to a friendly interaction. Kisses always available. So if it's enabled, passionate and suave kisses are always available regardless of mood or timeout. That could be handy in some instances. Allow emotional deaths. So if enabled, the emotional deaths that occur when a sim gets too playful, angry, or embarrassed will be allowed. If disabled, I don't know why I just said it like that, sorry. These deaths will never happen. So I know I've had a few sims die of being too playful, and I was shocked. I was like, oh my goodness, they were like hysterical. And I was devastated. I didn't know that that was a thing. And then it happened, and I was like, oh well. But yeah, so obviously, if you want to disable that, this is where you go to disable it. Stop random flirting. Prevent sims from flirting with another sim autonomously when they are in a flirty mood if they have no prior romantic relationship levels. Note that if this setting is used, the autonomous flirty setting is ignored. So, yeah, basically, if you want to have sims flirting with other sims, enable it. I think that that's actually a pretty good one too. Allow monster under bed. Does anybody absolutely hate the monster under the bed? I really don't like it. It is super, super annoying to me. So obviously if you disable it, then toddlers will no longer have nightmares and children will not be bothered by the monster under the bed. So yeah, you can disable that or enable that. If it really bothers you that much. And allow teen move in. So allow teens to invite other sims to move in and also be invited to move in. I really like that. I'm going to enable it. So yeah, you can do that too. Which would be really cool if you were just playing a teenage sim that maybe lost their parents or something along those lines. Yeah. So change interaction autonomy. So autonomous mischief is enabled. So basically disabling this setting will turn off the autonomous mischief interactions for sims. So that is the same for all of them. So if you want autonomous mean, autonomous proposals, etc. So this will be a big one for a lot of people, autonomous proposals. So by enabling this setting, it will now allow autonomous proposal interactions to happen between sims. The chance of this occurring is controlled by the core game and not by the mod. So if you want to know how to create autonomous proposals, this is where you go. You go into MC Tuner. So you enable that. If you want autonomous marriage, you enable it as well. Enabling this setting will turn on autonomous marriage interactions for sims. So that is awesome. I know a lot of people want that. So again, really cool that you can do that in this mod. Autonomous flirty, that is enabled. Autonomous repairs. So if enabled, any eligible sim on a lot with a broken object may autonomously repair the object. That could be really handy. And autonomous cleaning. So if enabled, any sim on a lot with an object that needs cleaning may autonomously clean it. So that's all there. And then lastly, in MC Tuner, we have autonomy scan. So you've got your archive autonomous actions and maximum autonomy archive. So in the archive autonomous actions, if enabled, in addition to interactions currently running on sims, the currently running scan dialog will also display archived interactions that have happened recently. Automatic setting is disabled. Maximum autonomy archive. So specifies the number of interactions to archive per sim for the currently running scan autonomy dialogue. So 0, 200. You can change those. All right, so that was MC population and MC tuner for you guys. Then we've got the last two videos, MC pregnancy and MC woohoo. So I hope this is being really helpful. So yeah, thank you guys.